Hello, YouTubers. I hope you're having a wonderful day. Well, I am. I just wanted to, make a special episode for you guys, something to talk about. Many of you might be curious as to what is more difficult. Voice acting American, animation, or English dubbing Japanese animation. No, anime. Well, that's what we're going to talk about today. It all really depends on which direction the voice goes into. I would say, to me, most American cartoons is probably most difficult because it's really cartoony sounding. When most anime, there's a lot of realism in the voices. When we English dub them, and it sounds like a full-out human being, and less cartoony. Though some of the characters are cartoony, like, for instance, Monokuma from Danganronpa. I'm Monokuma, and I'm this school's headmaster. Something like that. Doing that voice, I wouldn't really see it as difficult. I never practiced it. I just, I tried it once. But, if you can hit the pitch, the voice could be done. To me, it just all depends. Like, most people who are doing a lot of anime, you're going to get a lot of new people out there just going to throw people on the set. Oh, you got the voice for it, get on the set. You got a natural voice, it sounds good. They take a lot of good sounding people, but you got a lot of, like, American cartoons, they're going to take the challenging voices. They don't care about your regular voice. They want to know, can you make your voice this pitch, this pitch, this pitch, and so on and so on, it all really depends. And I won't say that some anime doesn't do that. I'm sure there are, or else characters like Monokuma would never be voiced. That is definitely cartoony voice. But in most animation, you're going to find out it's mostly about cartoony voices. Because for the fact that most anime has a set plot, that it follows a story. Every episode is completely following. You got to watch the whole thing to see what happens. And in most American cartoons, it's more slice of life, you can say. Each episode is completely different than the next. It's just random. Like Family Guy, The Simpsons. It's all random, episodes. They all have the same personality, in every episode, but it's just every episode's a new adventure all the way, completely different. Most anime, it follows a single storyline. You gotta watch the whole thing to see it all, If you want to find out what happens in the end, you gotta watch the whole thing. And sometimes you're even left in a cliffhanger, but, that's fine. If the anime is really good, that's all that counts, really. So, I mean, when you get, in voices like, let's say, Winnie the Pooh, for instance, Christopher Robbins, do you have a jar of honey? Please, Piglet. Doing something like that is pretty challenging. And, but I've had a lot of different practice with that. I mean, my old videos, if you've seen, I don't really like most of my, how do I say it? I don't like most of my old material because I've improved a lot since then. So, for me, I'm all about what I'm doing right now and not that old stuff. I mean, it may not be super old. It's not years old because I've only been doing this for about a year, close to it, actually, less than a year. And I took a break too because I had no choice. And I didn't have the right material either, and I wanted to wait to get some, decent recording material. Which reminds me, I should have set the resolution on this video a little higher, but that's fine. Because it's not gonna, show up very high quality once it hits YouTube anyways. But I could have made it more clear so by the time I put it on YouTube, it might not be as bad. Um, but yeah, it really all depends on what you can do as a person. Are you better at the cartoony side of the voices, or are you better in the realism side voices, making yourself sound more, kind of realistic and less cartoony? But this all depends from person to person. I see as American cartoons maybe a little bit more challenging, even though I can do them. And most anime, it's really just a person's voice, and I know everything's a person's voice, but most of them voice act in their own voice and their own pitch. And they stay with that voice because they have a nice voice, so we'll use you. And but if you can make yourself sound like a nicer person, you sound a little better, then maybe, but but yeah, that's kind of what I wanted to share. So let me know what you think on what's more challenging. I would think that most American cartoons have more of a feat as far as who's actually voiced and what that person has done. I think there might be a bigger feat on that. I'm not necessarily saying that it's always better. Now, if you go to actually, the original Japanese artist, vocal artist, you would see how difficult those pitches were to actually hit. And they've done some stuff too. I won't say that every American cartoon sounds good. There are some voices that were probably trashed out, but in a lot of anime, you would also notice that a lot of English voice actors, they would just get, hired. Person could be unknown. Let's get them on here anyways. But, just random people are just applying for that because they want to do that. So I would definitely just say it varies from person to person what you can do better and what's easier for you. But like, Dragon Ball Z, you get the voice Vegeta. I'm Vegeta, the Prince of all Saiyans. Kakarot, how did you become Super Saiyan before me? I don't practice that either, so I apologize. But, just changing one part, of a voice, you can actually hit another. I'm a voice actor myself, not famous or anything, I'm new, still new, but I've got a lot of work that I've actually done, and as far as what I put on demos and stuff on YouTube I would pay no attention to. I'll probably, one day load up a teaser for everyone on what I'm doing now. But I'm pretty much, I picked up voices fast learner, when it comes to voicing. So maybe a year for me, doing this may not be the same for somebody else who may have taken years to do it. Or maybe there's someone who's only done this for maybe 5 or 6 months and they've got the same thing going as me, But like James Arnold Taylor, he's been good for the longest time at voicing. You guys remember him from Johnny Test. He voiced Johnny Test. And he's also voiced Obi-Wan Kenobi from Star Wars, Clone Wars, and the video games. But yeah, he's got a lot of work he's actually done. And he's been doing it for many years. But he's very, very talented. He's like a more modern, a new age kind of Mel Blanc. And Mel Blanc was, to me, he was the best of all time, because he could just create characters left and right, and they would all sound unique in their own way. Though if you notice, Foghorn Leghorn has the same laugh as Barney Rubble. Look it up. Listen to his laugh and listen to Barney Rubble's laugh. I pay attention to a lot of stuff, and for a lot of times I can notice characters going, people going outside the character. Then you can for a little bit they go into the regular voice, you know. But I notice these little things, and they get back in the character again. You know, there's little slip-ups, you know, and I see this stuff. But when you start voicing, you notice a lot more. So yeah, I really hope you enjoyed this special episode, and please subscribe. I'd really appreciate it. And please help support my work. I'm really working hard. I've made demos. I'll send them out. If you guys want to hear a sample of some of the new stuff I've done, please let me know. And if you want to hear a certain character I can do, please let me know. I can do both animated characters. I can voice them, and I can voice actual people as well. So anything you want to hear, just let me know. So I hope you enjoyed this special episode, and I will see you next time. Have a good day.